Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. You're sitting back in my sewing room this evening. It's been a real full, busy day for me around here, and I'm winding down my day with a glass of iced tea. So this is hashtag teatuesday. I think you guys know, the weather around the country has been really stormy, well, along the East Coast anyway. And there have been snowstorms in the central states as well, but the East Coast got hit hard with some snow and cold. And here in Central Florida, over the weekend, it was freezing temperatures, very freezing, very cold. It is starting to warm up. As of tonight, we will be remaining in the 50s overnight for the first time in, well, probably like a week. And it's supposed to be 80 degrees, something like that, by Thursday. So we're going to be seeing more typical temperatures here this week, it looks like. Thank goodness. It's about time. But anyway, and I know you guys are looking at the 30-degree temperature that we had and 40 degrees and that and saying, oh, hey, that's spring. And I know, I remember those days too, back when I lived up north. But I've been down south here for so long now that those temperatures are very cold to me. So, but anyway, things are warming up now and becoming more like like our normal winter season down here. So, today basically, today around here I got things ready to begin my next sewing project, which is called the Disappearing Nine Patch. And I didn't finish it. I got a good start on it. I'm going to take you along with me and show you what I did accomplish today. So let me put that in here, right here. Anyway, I have my cutting table up today and fabric laid down on it. I'm going to begin a new project here. And this project, I was inspired to do it from watching another channel called April's Story. I will link her channel below. I've gotten a few ideas from her. I like the way that she handles her sewing room, okay, let's put it that way. She kind of reminds me of me in a way, because she'll be sewing along and telling you what to do, and then she'll realize that, oh, she made a mistake, and she has to correct it. So she goes back over that too. And you know what? That's the way to do it, because I'm not perfect. I'm not a real, totally experienced professional sewist at all. And I make mistakes and I rip out and become discouraged and put things aside, but it'll be aside for a year or so before I get back to working on it. That's the way I go, But I have been really working diligently over the past few years, getting projects taken care of, worked up, finished. And so far, I've got a few left to go, but I'm doing a new one here with you. This one is called a Disappearing Nine Patch. It's a real simple quilt to start with for beginners, okay? And so I thought I'd show you because I happen to know somebody that recently found a used sewing machine that she picked up, and she wanted to learn how to sew. This type of quilt is one of the easiest ones to start with. So I'm going to show you how to get started on it and make up it's out of the jewel tone fat quarters that I got. Now, fat quarter is basically, I look at it as it being 1/4 of a yard of material. However, it can range in size. Typically, I think April said typically she's found them 18 by 21 inches. I've got a pile of 9 fat quarters here on the sewing table. I'll spin the camera around and show you shortly. There are a variety of sizes, and I will be trimming my fat quarters. First of all, trimming off the selvage edge, and usually that selvage edge has a kind of like a white labeling type of material along the edge. That's all going to come off. and then trimming up the rest of the sizes. I think I measured out the smallest size that I have is like 17 by 21 inches. So they're not all uniform, and all of these are different sizes, you'll see. So you want to trim your fat quarter collection to the same size for all pieces. And that's what I'm going to do first before I start. The directions are pretty easy. I will include those on the description of this video and show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, so stay tuned. Let me swing the camera down here so you can see the fat quarters that I'm going to be trimming up and see what they look like when I get that done. See what they look like before I get started too, and then what they're going to look like when I finish, okay? And yes, I have glasses on my forehead, well, on my head. And I've also got a pair of glasses on the cutting table here and glasses at the sewing table. So I'm well prepared to work on my project today. Come on along. Okay, so I think you can see the fat quarters pretty good here. Let me move my other glasses out of the way. Tape measure. Where can you see this the best? Let's see here. There we go. There we go. You can see it the best right here. And can you see along the edges here? These are like, each one is a separate fat quarter, and they're all different sizes, but pretty close. But you want to trim them up so that they are all the same size. And the selvage edge is on this side, which has the white fabric trim. You want to cut all that off. And that's a good 1/2 inch for sure. Well, here's one that's 1 inch. But you want to get rid of the selvage as much as possible. So let me take care of that first of all. Okay, mine, I just have this little cutting mat, so I have to make do with that for right now. Thought I had a bigger one, but so I'm going to make the best use of this one and even up. It just means I'm going to have to move my ruler up to get the very edge, which is only about 2 inches, so no biggie. Okay. So I'm going to gently grab all of the pieces of fabric here and move them down. So I can cut this little 2-inch area. There we go. There. Okay. Now, if you can't cut easily through the layers of 9 fabrics, go ahead and do a couple at a time. However, it is easy for you to do. You handle it that way. And now you can see that here I've got the rough edges, and I need to trim off quite a bit. So once again, I will be moving my fabric. We'll start that way. And let's see here. Yeah, I have to go that far. That did pretty good. And gently move it down again. And the same thing on this end. Looks like, okay. There we go. There. And one more side. Okay. Bring it down. There. All right. They are all trimmed up, uniform, looking pretty good. Don't know if you can tell on this side how evenly they are, and on this side too. Yes. Okay. The next step is going to be sewing them together. But first of all, I'm going to lay them out here on the table and see if I can't give you a really good look at what I'm working with, okay? So hold on just a minute. All right, I've got it all together here now, and well, I've got it all laid out, I think the way that I'm going to go ahead and sew it together. I think this will do. So I'm going to start with this row, sewing these 3 together, and then these 3 together, and then I'm going to sew these 2 rows of 3 together, and then come down here and sew these 3 together, and then sew all of this together with the last seam. So it makes one big square block. I'll show you that. Well, I'll bring it back here to talk to you for a little bit after I have it all sewn together and show you what we're going to do next. So with right sides together, the first 2 blocks are going to be sewn together. And you use a 1/4 inch seam on this. Okay. Let me get the other block that's going to go on here now. And again, right sides together. have my first row all together. On to the next row. Okay. So that's as far as I got on the quilt for today. Not far, but I would say probably halfway done for sure, okay? We'll finish it up next week. But I did get an urgent request to get supper going, so I finished up in the sewing room here and went to the kitchen and started working on dinner. And I'm going to take you out there and show you what I did, okay? I fixed something a little different. It's a bagged meal from the Voila line, and they're pretty decent meals too, but I add a little bit of extra to the mixture just to beef it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you what I did. Let me take you out there now. So that was our dinner tonight, and those bagged meals are pretty decent. I tend to always add a little bit of extra something to it, you know, either extra vegetables or extra shrimp. Sometimes I've added chicken to it as well. Just something to beef it up a little bit and give it more substance. But they're really good, basically, on their own. But other than that, that's how I spent my Tea Tuesday, and I decided to share it with you. So I hope you're all having a good one out there. You take care, and we'll be talking again real soon. But for right now, it's going to be bye for this Tea Tuesday. Yes, I've had a long day. I'm tired. So I think I'm going to call it a night here real soon as I'm winding down.